We have amazing heroes here in Metro Detroit, unsung heroes, and they are making such a huge difference in our neighborhood. And one of those people in Highland Park is Mama Shu. Great to have you with us, Mama. How are you? It's been a few years since I've talked to you.
I know, Ronnie. Hi, I'm doing good, thank you. So good to see you.
You too.
Yes.
I think about you so often because you are such an amazing person. And what I love about you is, like you say, I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen who cares. And you're changing Highland Park block by block. For those not familiar with Avalon Village, fill us in.
So, Avalon Village is located in Highland Park, Michigan. It is basically composed of one whole city block between Woodward and Second. And Avalon Village is used to be blighted, and we're basically transforming blight to beauty by just cleaning up the block and building wonderful things for the people. And we're building them with the green infrastructure. So basically, this whole block will be filled with just different things, homework house, basketball courts, and just things that, unfortunately, some of the things aren't in our city because of just different things that are happening. But we wanted to basically restore the block and just basically bring it back to some beautifulness for the people.
So tell us more about the homework house.
So the homework house, we're working on that right now. I've been working on it for about 4 years. They're actually out there building the handicap ramp. So I'm getting closer and closer to getting my certificate of occupancy. But the homework house is a space where children can come after school on Saturdays for Saturday classes, do their homework. They can eat a meal. If they need to take a shower because their gas or lights and stuff is cut off, we have 3 showers, handicap accessible. We have a studio. We also have a record studio in there where they can do music. And then we have a computer lab. So it's basically set up like a big old giant home. It used to be a big old 2-family flat that was on the demo list. And we converted it into something where the children can feel comfortable and basically be able to excel as urban scholars. That's the main thing. Get that homework done, be fed, whatever your conditions are, and be able to still not skip a beat when it comes to going to school and competing with other students and stuff, and making them well-rounded. So that's what it is. It's just a big old house to just care for the children in any kind of way.
And I know that this project was born out of grief for your son, Jacoby. Tell us about Jacoby.
So Jacoby his birthday is August the 17th, as a matter of fact. He would have been 16 years old. But Jacoby is my ancestor boy. He got killed when he was 2 years, 1 month, and 6 days old. And he was hit by a hit and run driver here in Highland Park, actually. And basically with that grief, you got to have something to do. It was already in me to build and everything, but that right there just really made me just take the step to go ahead and just say, okay, I'm building a village. Let's just start and let's just get it going. And so it's been real healing to actually be able to work on this project and to be able to be productive and to, keep my mind or whatever in the positive way and in a healthy way too, So this has been a great thing for me, actually.
When you look at the project, anyone who hasn't been out there, you have to go by, because I know you can always use donations, you can always use volunteers, but what's so amazing is you're making a huge difference. And some people will say there are obstacles, but how do you overcome the obstacles?
Well, the thing about it is that the thing that I'm focused on, to do my part in the community, to work on this block, just like you said, as a citizen, like, okay, I can do this. It was a big thing, but I'm like, okay, I'll just start to do this. And it's just like, you got to focus on it. You got to want it bad enough. So apparently I must want it bad enough. I love the work, and that's what keeps me going, and just the need of it. This needs to basically happen. And so just stay focused, and just be consistent no matter what. It's helping a lot of children, and that's the main thing. That's the main thing, to put children first and to build. So that's what kind of keeps me going, actually.
Shemayan Harris with us here on the MegaCast. She's well known as Mama Shu, founder and CEO for the Avalon Village in Detroit. And Mama Shu, my heart broke for you this past January when your other son, Chin, was murdered there in Highland Park. I remember when I interviewed him, he was so proud of you. He
Yes.
loved you. He raved about you, but his smile, how do you find the strength to go on and not give up?
Man, so that right there was really, really something. And I remember that too. I said, Robin, Ronnie is coming, want to talk to me. I said, she did Chin's interview and he had on the hard hat and everything. And I love that. We use that as part of his funeral. When we did his funeral, part of his clippings. And so when we did like we did a video for the family and the community to see. But that right there, Ronnie, that's a hard one right there, because Chin was he was there. I have 4 children total. I got 2 girls left and they live in Atlanta. And Chin was just like my partner, you know, security, just my protection there. And then he was becoming a man, helping to build the village and doing his part and everything. And it's just devastating that I don't have his energy around anymore, but physically, but I still do. And basically, Chin's energy has taken it to another level. That's all it is. Just when Jacoby, I did what I did. Now it's like, boom, it's just gotten up another notch is what it is. And so it's really something to start all over with grief. You know, you get over like Jacoby would have been 16 years and you never heal from it, but it's like, man, and it's just like the reset button was started again, you know, like, okay, now I got to start all over with this, but it is, I'm still focused and I understand that it's certain things that just happen. And if you want things bad enough, you just keep going. And it's all of this life stuff that do happen. And unfortunately, the boys or whatever, you know, is part of the journey to be able to get through and just to stay strong as much as I can and just to get through it. It's just just staying focused. That's all. Understanding that it is those things that get in the way and that kind of puts you back a little bit.
Well, you've turned your grief into a beautiful thing and you're helping so many people. And it wasn't just, you know, talking with Chin that day, but some of the other young guys in the neighborhood and the influence that you have had on them. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. And we still, even after Chin died, his friends, you know, they're all 23, 24 years old, the ones that helped to work on the homework house, but the ones who are interested in the village and being around here. I made a space for Chin. We did and they actually helped, some of his friends actually help with the volunteer Ted. He's always building stuff with wood and everything, but we built Chin a shrine and it's like a gazebo and they go sit there. But before Chin, right across the street from the homework house, there was some vacant lots that the village has. And that was really a space, Ronnie, for Chin and other young men to come and just to hang out. They can sit there with their cars and everything, because I always was concerned about the boys and I wanted them to stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? Stay out the way of some of the negative influences and the things that happen. And I'm like, okay, y'all can hang out over here. And they knew that it wasn't going to be no junk over there, because first of all, wasn't going to have it. But they were very, very well behaved and just was productive and had their meetings and everything. But I always wanted to have a space for the young men. And right now, that's what it is like right now. The boys, they come, they take their time to secure, sit there with their cars. And when we have events, they're on point. And they're always just, they still hold Chin up very high. They loved him. Chin was like a prince to them, like, you know, like the main man's. And it was just a great thing and stuff. So basically, with the strength of those young brothers and us showing them, they're out there working right now and doing things. It's been it's really good. It's like you lose one, but you gain like this big army of young men that are really, really just trying to stay focused and do the right thing also.
Well, he definitely in his short life touched so many people and so many hearts. And with that, what's it been like for you on this journey? Because when you started it, did you anticipate that it was going to get the attention that it has? I mean, you've been on Ellen. Come on.
Oh, you know, it's so funny, Ronnie. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday on the porch. I was like, man, all I was doing was cleaning out this lot right next door and just making sure that, you know, then I was like, okay, this whole block, we can do the whole thing. It's just so, no, Ronnie, I didn't. I didn't know. And I am still kind of amazed, like, wow, you know, every time something happened, I'm like, wow, okay. And then basically, I'm just embracing it and I've submitted to it, you know, like, okay, this is what it is. And I think it's a cool thing.
It is so cool. And we should point out, though, you started this years before Ellen and all the attention came along. This is a project out of your heart. And, making your neighborhood safer and better for so many people. But how did you come about trying to get funding and the thought and the ideal of making everything green?
So the funding, first of all, it wasn't no funding. Okay. I sold fish sandwiches for $5 to even buy like pieces of the land to make sure that my programming went for the hood camps and different things that we do. So that's how that started. And basically I use my check because I worked 27 years with the school system. So I would use my check and maybe an income tax check would come through. So that's how I did things. And then basically beg for money like, hey, my friends, can y'all help me with this and help me with that? So that's how that got started. And so as far as the green part, I figured that we were in Highland Park. I figured out ways that I knew that we had to save money. I wanted to make sure that things were healthy, that would like save the earth type stuff. And so I had wonderful people around me that can actually do those kind of things and help me with those. So I wanted to use recycled shipping containers. I wanted to use geothermal heating and cooling, which that's what's in the homework house. We have solar panels on the homework house as well. The Goddess Marketplace, which is an economic initiative for women entrepreneurs, that we have solar and we have lights in there, but that was a shipping container that we had remodeled for women entrepreneurs. So I knew that, and then it was cheaper to do it that way to me. Because like, I'm just saying, like, for instance, like there's no gas or whatever in the homework house. Well, I couldn't afford that. I was thinking of ways that would be more economical, but would be safe for the environment as well. So operating a store in a shipping container is definitely way more cheaper than getting, a storefront or something like that. So just bring the structure to you and then, just buy it, and then there's no overhead. So I started thinking of ways that we can save money because it wasn't a lot of money, whatever, even to deal with.
So you started with the lot next door. Where are you today?
So I started with the lot next door. So I am at, we practically own the whole block, 42 properties.
Wow.
So I know, I've been nibbling. It's 4 here, 2 there, this and that. And it's at 42 right now.
So with that, Mama Shu, can I ask you, because one thing I see so many times, people stop getting involved and they stopped caring. How do you carry that passion and carry it for so many years to actually see change?
So it's because, Ronnie, I saw the whole thing. I already see the whole village being complete. I'm excited about getting to that end or to that space. It was like, wow, okay, here it is, to be able to just add on to it. And so it just was so exciting seeing all the colors and everything. And I literally saw the whole block functioning and everything. I saw it. It was just like a dream. And I'm like, okay, so I just started to work backwards. So it had to be cleaned up first. And that was a whole bunch of years to do that. And then the other things started to happen finally, just little things at a time start to happen. But yeah, it's just sticking to it. It's been challenges and everything, but it's worth it to me. It's worth it. And I feel that I deserve, and we deserve, a good space to live in, a beautiful space to live in. We deserve eclectic shops, a basketball court, just things like that, a library, stuff like that. So
it is. So what is your end goal? Do you have one, or do you just keep going?
I do have an end goal as it relates to this project. So there's 4 blocks of Avalon Street. The first block is the downtown, okay, because it's actually slated in our master plan here in Highland Park to be mixed use. And I didn't know that. Intuitively, it just happened. I was like, okay, I want to put this, and this, but it just so happens that this block allows for that kind of action. So I'm like, bet I was in tune with that. The next 3 blocks, what I want to do is that to transform that blight down near to beauty by putting an urban garden on each of the blocks, as well as a family space like a playground. The other spaces to build housing on that block, housing that folks can afford, and do that all the way down. And then there's one little small block going across Hamilton. But that's my end goal. And I figure maybe about 10 years, maybe I'll be able to do that. So I want to build the downtown of it first, and then we're just spreading.
So with that, I know that it takes a village and it takes a lot of people. And even if you don't live in Highland Park, you don't live in a nearby community, this impacts all of us. And I know that when I give and I volunteer, I get more out of it than the people I'm helping. So how can people get involved if they want to?
They can get involved a couple of ways. First of all, they can make a donation if they'd like to go to the avalonvillage.org and go to our website. They can also send us an email if they want to volunteer or have resources that can connect us to help us to make what happened that we're making happen over here happen. And they can send an email and just basically, hey, I can do this, that, and the other. Volunteers, we're always welcoming volunteers to come do planting trees, cleaning up lots and different things like that, or to volunteer to be a tutor or maybe connect us with a tutoring company or something like that, something that will help in the homework house. And then we also have a wish list on the site too as well. So if they don't want to make a monetary donation, they can always go to the wish list and they can get a hold of that on the avalonvillage.org as well. We are on Twitter and Instagram, as well as Facebook too. They can keep up with all of our events and then attend some of the events. We have free concerts that happen all the time, all of that, yeah. And one of the things that I know that we'll be reaching out for is STEM lab materials. The STEM lab is almost finished. I got a grant to do that. They're over there working on that right now as well, putting the panels in because it's off the grid as well. And so we'll be putting a call out for STEM stuff, computers and things like that to go in there for the kids.
We need to hook you up with Google.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to work on that because I know some people that work over there. Mama Shu, this is my last interview on the show, and I have to say that it's such a pleasure to have you. I so miss you. And know that I send you, my thoughts and prayers on the passing of Chen. I was so upset, and I know, so angry.
I know you were. I told Robin today, I said that Ronnie, I said she is good. And I felt that too. I said, Ronnie, it just brings tears. Because you gave that boy an interview. He was just so proud. He was so proud he had on his hard hat. Man, I'll never forget that. But I knew that you were going to be touched. And I told Robin that too. I was like, Ronnie is going to feel some kind of way. And I knew that you would. But thank you for your support.
Yeah, well, thank you for all that you do. And again, he was so proud of you. He absolutely loved you. That smile. But I want to say thank you so much.